Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. Kind of a crazy Game 3 with Kawhi Leonard having a career game hitting shots that I'm not so sure he could hit in horse if he wanted to. And that gave them a big enough cushion that they could kind of hang on, take enough possessions off in the second half and lengthen the game out so there weren't enough possessions left for the Heat to come back. Again, they were a little bit flat on the Heat defensive side, allowing the Spurs to make quite a few passes that allowed the rhythm to come back for all those shots. And down the stretch, the Heat had a hard time executing their offense. And those things add up to a big Game 3 win. Had the Spurs lost this, I would have think that the series would have been pretty much over. But now they're in the driver's seat with Game 5 at home, and it should be really exciting to see what the adjustments will be for the Heat going into Game 4. The Spurs opened the game with an exciting new set, a double split off the high post flowing into a pin down and screen and roll for Parker. All that action in the middle got Tim Duncan free underneath for the layup. The Spurs also scouted this Heat set well, knowing that if they deny the wing entry pass, the offense will die. However, they get a pick and roll, and poor rotation allows Lewis to get a tough layup. The Heat ran a lot of horn sets in Game 3, and the Spurs contained the initial screen and roll very well. However, with LeBron in the weak side corner, they get a pick and roll with him on the reversal. Kawhi tries to get around the high side, but can't do it, forcing Duncan to defend the isolation, and LeBron takes advantage. Again, the Spurs denied a lead pass to the wing, catching the Heat off guard and allowing an easy run out to increase their lead. And let's talk about Kawhi, who was unconscious and had a career-high 28 points with shots like this pull-up in transition. Great ball movement was key for the Spurs in the first half as they built an insurmountable lead. Watch how they make 6 passes on the perimeter until they get a pick and roll out of the corner, but this shot was crazy tough anyway. The Spurs defense was able to dig the ball out from the Heat big man more than a few times, and Boris Diaw leads the break, absorbing serious contact before kicking it out. The Heat continued to allow penetration into the lane, and while LeBron was in good position, he was late getting a hand up to challenge, and Kawhi knocks down another 3. As the Spurs built their lead, they had a possession of the night as they get 6 quick passes around the perimeter, leading to a nice pitch to the cutting Mills, and a sleeping Ray Allen lets Manu cut to the hoop for the layup. We often get asked, what happens if you play ice defense against a good shooting ball screener? Splitter goes to LeBron to help, and a nifty lefty behind the back pass gets Lewis a wide open 3. And the Heat were able to hang around a little when Lewis sprinted right to the corner for the 3, and Kawhi got away with a foul to boot. The Spurs got beat a couple of times off of pin downs and bad communication. And out of horns, this is an interesting wrinkle where Chalmers comes out of the right corner to ball screen, and Wade comes out of the left corner for the pin down. When both players miscommunicate for the Spurs, it leaves Bosh open for the easy 2. We've shown in other breakdowns how this set is one of the Heat's best, yet they haven't run it barely at all this playoffs. So it was great to see LeBron flash to the free throw line, Bosh backscreen Wade, and they get a layup out of this. They try to run it again, but this time Bosh is in the wrong position, screening inside the lane. The backscreen for Wade timing is way off, and it leads LeBron to ISO on Kawhi, who was more than up to the task, and Norris Cole gets stripped. And the Spurs made the Heat pay all night with mistake of over-aggressiveness. On this pick and roll in the corner, they over-rotate to double splitter on the baseline. Some nice and crisp ball movement across the top gives Bellinelli the easiest 3-point shot he'll see all series. So there you have it, sports fans. Some real adjustments need to be made by the Heat, in my opinion, to tamp down the over-aggressive defense that gets them way out of position, because it seems pretty clear the Spurs with every game are getting a little bit more and more used to that kind of pressure, and if they can do this on the road, then the Heat have to be very concerned that certainly that Game 5 could be a Spurs win, and if that happens, the series will probably be over. So, lots more coming up. I got some special stuff for you tomorrow that we shot around the stadium today. And stay tuned for lots more coming up at B-Ball Breakdown. And don't forget, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You win.